Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to take this old Bunn coffee maker apart. I've really been wanting to start to take coffee makers apart and see what they look like on the inside. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure it's unplugged, and we're going to leave it unplugged. This coffee maker I bought off Facebook Marketplace for $2. It was very well used. This thing's pretty much exceeded its life, and so I want to take it apart and see what's going on inside. So it does have a nice coffee pot that I can resell. Coffee filter basket, it's pretty worn out. So this model has, this top just pops off. That's where you put the water. So when this is installed, the water goes there. And when you move this, there's a lever that moves, and that's what caused, there was something on here that I took it off, but there was a thing that would lift up and let the water, so you'd fill this water, this is where the water would go, and when you close the lid, then it would let the water go down into the heating element. But this thing was a mess, and I can see from now that this thing's got a bunch of calcium buildup on the inside, and I've cleaned this once already. This was completely white. So I've got it dumped over. I see, now when you dump, this thing has a storage tank on the inside. When you dump it over for the first time, you may get a bunch of water that leaks out. I've had mine upside down already. I do see some screws right there, here, there's the brew head. We're gonna take that nut off. But I'll start on the bobbin with these screws. Okay, so I've got those two screws out. I'm going to bend these little tabs here. So see these little tabs? I'm going to line those, so bend those to where they can go straight down. No, you don't have to bend those tabs. It just keep prying. It'll come out. So here's what the bottom of it looks like. Again, I don't plan on reusing this coffee maker. I just wanted to show everybody what it's going to look like. Okay, so again, here's your heating. That's the plate that heats up. So interesting, by bending those tabs that I showed you earlier, that's what, so this heating plate has actually got a cover. I always thought that this was the part that heated up. But the heating element is actually underneath it and a lot smaller. So that's what the heating element looks like. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take this nut off. These are grounds. So the coffee maker is grounded. Okay, so I've got that bottom plate off. Here's that tank I was telling you about. So there's the hot water tank. Here's the heating element wires. So these are the wires that heat up that water. There's the switch on the side. Again, this switch you normally keep on because it keeps this tank hot at all times. And again, there's a warming plate. So we'll just keep diving down in here and see what we find. So it looks like these white things come out. These are just like holders. I can take these things out. I mean, at this point, I guess you could change the heating plate if you wanted to. You would have to resplice these wires here. I mean, it looks like the switch is somewhat replaceable. It's got like a connection here we're going to take off. We're going to lift up these tabs. So then the switch pops out once you take that tab off, and it's just got fast on connectors. These just pull off. So see, so you could change the switch if you had to change out the switch. And again, these just pull on and off. Those are fast on connectors. Same with this. Once I got those off, then this piece comes off. Alright, I think that's about all we can do down here. We're going to have to start going up to the top. Okay, I'm going to take these two screws out underneath the head. Okay, I've got those 2 screws out, and then this kind of popped off. All right, I'm going to take this nut off, the brew head here. Yeah, I've got that nut off. Yeah, it's not getting, it's getting us a little bit. Okay. So then that pops off. That's got the, this is the warming plate switch. So that comes apart. And it looks like that's just got some ears. I'm going to poke those ears off. I know this isn't how you do it. You got to press that down and then poke up. Yeah, like that. Okay, so you could replace this switch if you had to. That looks like you could find that somewhere online. And it's just got those fast, you know, these just pull off. Like that. Seems like it's very well made. This is a very well used coffee maker, and I'm not finding any connections that are burnt, you know, or loose, or any, I'm not seeing any real potential fire hazards. So there's that brew head. That's where that screws on. This is like a flexible hose, really big hose. That seems very well. That's glued on there really well. Okay, so getting it to this point seemed like it was just screws and popping it off a little bit, but now I'm starting to get, trying to disassemble this from this. I think I'm gonna kind of destroy it a little bit. It's not real obvious how you take this apart yet. So this looks like pretty much the easiest part you can get to. I don't see anything up here. So I'm really having to do a lot of damage. I'm having to get in here and I'm having to pry, and it's kind of breaking it. So once you get to this point, it's pretty much ruined. But I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, so it must be glued or something, but I had to just kind of pry it off to get this top part off. Here's what the top of it looks like. Again, that's where the water comes out. That's where the water goes in. You can see there's a ton of calcium buildup. Not sure what that is. Okay, so now I can slide this out. There. So there's kind of like the back thing. There's the heating tank. Again, this was a very well used coffee maker. And again, I don't see any signs of where there might have been potential trouble, or nothing looked like it was getting hot. I know there's been some people been concerned about why they keep this. Why does this coffee maker stay on all the time? Looks like another ground wire here. We're going to take that off. So interesting enough, one of these wires runs inside this tape halfway around and comes out. Huh. Wonder what that's for. Interesting. So yeah, inside this tape, there's a wire. Huh. I really don't know what that's for. Like I said, it comes down here. Huh. Maybe that somehow senses the temperature of the tank, because I would think these would be the heating elements. That wire might have just been like a thermostat or something to tell how hot the water is actually inside the tank. So I'm really anxious here to see what's here. It looks like I can pull this up a little bit. I'm going to pry that. Oh, that pried up pretty easy. Yeah, lots of calcium. Okay, so these wires See, this is why we descale. Right here. See all of this? This is hard water deposits inside your hot water tank. And when it gets to this point, it's pretty much past the point of no return. It's going to be really hard to get all of this off, but by soaking it with vinegar, you're going to, but yeah, this is really, really got a lot of calcium on it. And I'm not sure what this is. Oh, maybe this would be the thermostat to turn it on and off. So, like I said, that's where see where the water goes in? I mean, look at that hard water deposit. That's disgusting. So yeah, there's all kinds of hard water. So let's look in the tank. Okay, so this is why we descale. It is disgusting inside here. I've got to show you. So I'm going to try to get my phone down there, but you got to see how much calcium's in there. It is disgusting. I've got to take this top off. I had no idea. So this thing may have never been descaled. Okay, so to finish up the disassembly of this Bunn coffee maker, I was too excited to see what it looked like on the inside of the actual water tank. So I went outside and cut it off with a cutting tool, and it is awful on the inside. That's all the calcium deposits inside it. I knew it was going to be bad. I had no idea it was going to be that bad. There's your heating element down in there. It gets coated with that calcium. It actually sticks to the walls really, really bad. So if your coffee is not tasting very good, this could be a pretty big problem. And also if it's not heating up. So again, that black thing in the middle, that circle thing, that's the heating element down there, right there. And so you can see how the hard water coats it, and it can't heat the water like it should. It takes too long. You still got the same temperature, but it's taking forever for your water to heat up. That could be a problem. But man, does it stick to the sides. I had no idea. I'm guessing this coffee maker was probably maybe 5-6 years old, and I don't think it's ever been descaled. So you definitely want to keep up on your descaling with white vinegar on these coffee makers. So this is going to wrap up the video of taking apart the Bunn coffee maker. I'm going to start taking apart a lot more coffee makers. So I'm going to do normal percolator coffee makers. You know, the Bunn's a little different. It has this water reservoir, you know, it keeps the water hot all the time. So here I've got a brand new Bunn, and in here there would be a tank just like that inside here, and it's going to keep that water hot all the time. So Bunns might build up calcium a little bit more just because they're on all the time. This is for the warming. It's got a switch on the side that you leave on all the time, so that when you pour water in here, it automatically displaces that water and you get a really quick brew. So coffee makers can look relatively good on the outside. People can clean them up relatively good. But if they haven't kept up on their descaling, it's going to taste like crud. So if you've got an older coffee maker or bought one and the coffee doesn't taste very good, or if it's taken forever, it's probably not been descaled. So again, if you could, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.